Go.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright. We're on. It's not late. We're late night from Willowdale. We're not really in Willowdale anymore, but that's where I grew up, so we still call it late night from Willowdale, and that's where this originated. So we're at Dufferin and St. Clair. But hey, we're still in the city of Toronto, so we'll still call it late night from Willowdale because that's cool. So let's talk about the nutty U.S. political situation. So everyone's scared. Oh, there we go. I thought we stopped, but I'm not that fearful of him. He's a clown and a buffoon, and yeah, he plays to racism. He plays to a lot of stuff, but I'm more fearful of his opponents, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, who are real whack jobs. They're far to the right of him. Donald Trump's just playing to the crowd. Like, in many ways, Donald Trump is, supports a woman's right to choose, and he's supportive of gay rights and all that. Donald Trump's just playing to the crowd. Donald Trump is basically trying to destroy the Republican Party, and that's a good thing because it deserves to be destroyed. And he's progressive on a lot of things. The Middle East, he says, yeah, George Bush's invasion of Iraq just created a lot of the crap that we have today, ISIS and the instability. And it was American policy. They created all the crap that we're dealing with in the Levant, in Syria and Iraq today. It's because of his ISIS. It's all a creation of Bush's policies. This stupid invasion of Iraq. Yeah, everyone agrees they created ISIS. Pretty much. And Trump says that. And he's right. And Trump says he's sympathetic to the Palestinians. He says, yeah, I'll make a deal. I'm a deal maker. He doesn't, he says I'm pro-Israel, but I'll make a deal. And of course, everyone on the Republican side hates Palestinians. Marco Rubio says every Palestinian's a terrorist. These guys are so stupid. Ted Cruz doesn't even know where Israel and Palestine are because he's so stupid. Trump in many ways is progressive on a lot of issues. But yeah, he's a buffoon. He plays to racism and he plays to, the anti-Muslim thing, even though he doesn't really believe in anything, frankly. He's a clown. He's a reality TV star who, was somewhat of a real estate developer. I don't know. He's a guy with a lot of money, and where it all came from is interesting. But what is interesting is about Trump is he plays to the anti-intellectual stream in American society, which is so prevalent in the Republican Party. Okay? And Americans, sorry, I just don't want to make a wide swath here, but Americans don't read much. They don't travel. Most Americans don't have passports. They have no understanding of the rest of the world. And it's, they're fearful of everybody, even though the most powerful country in the history of humankind. And the military spending is more than, all Russia, Western, their military spending is huge. Bigger than China, Russia, the Western, all of NATO. They're huge. It's huge. They're the most powerful country in the world, but yet they still feel insecure. They still feel they're under threat. Yeah, because the media is kind of, let's face it, the media is pretty, like, you watch CNN, it's all pretty pathetic, right? Fox, don't even go there. The parochial, Americans don't read much, they don't travel much, and let's face it, they're pretty stupid. And then people are, and they're very anti-intellectual. Most Americans still believe, certainly the Republicans, they still believe in creationism. They still believe the world was created in 6 days. I tell you, come to Northern Ontario. I'll show you the rocks in my apartment. They're 4 billion years old. They still believe, none of them believe in climate change in the Republican field. They still don't believe in that. Yeah, so they all, still a very religious society. They believe in God and all that. It's a very anti-intellectual society. And yes, this is a society that put a man on the moon.
15 seconds.
15 seconds?
Yeah.
This is a society that put a man on the moon.
To 5 minutes, by the way.
Developed the internet, and it's created so many things. I get it. Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much still an ignorant place. And the Republican Party is emblematic of that. These are dumb people, okay? As I said in previous videos, and I've said, most of the people in the Republican Party think that the Flintstones were a National Geographic special. And these are stupid people, and they're dangerous. That's why I like Trump, because he doesn't believe in anything. He's a well-traveled guy. He's got interests all around the world. But he knows he's playing to stupid people. So he says unsubstantiated things and platitudes, but he knows he's playing to stupid people. He's playing everybody. But I'll take him over Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz, who are evil, who are so evil. Marco Rubio, oh my God! I don't think I've ever seen a more evil politician. Stupid, ignorant. A guy, when he was asked about Flint, Michigan, and the water crisis there, he said, "I don't really care." And when he's asked about Palestinians, he says, "All Palestinians are terrorists." I mean, and forget about Ted Cruz. Okay.
Where's my land?
So, anyways,
4 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes. Donald Trump plays to stupidity. He knows what he's doing, and he won't get he'll get the nomination, but Hillary will beat him. The Clintons are sleazy and dirty, but Hillary will beat him. At least she's a woman of substance, and she knows policy, and she will beat him in a general election. But I'm happy that Donald Trump is totally shaking up the Republican Party, a party of racists and stupidity and ignorance, and I'm happy he's shaking it up, and I kind of wish him well. Like, yeah, I know this idea, he doesn't denounce the KKK and all that. He doesn't care. He just wants to shake things up. And I don't think Donald Trump is a racist. I don't think he's. I think he plays to this, and he plays to stupidity and ignorance, and I think he just wants to shake things up. And he's playing to people's fears, and yeah. So I have to admit, I don't see them the threat that everyone else sees them. My biggest fear is that like I said, a Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio would get the nomination. They're real creepoids. Donald Trump's just playing to the crowd, and the crowd is ignorant. So, and I think ultimately Hillary Clinton will dominate, and she's rational, and the Clintons are rational. It'd be nice to have the Clintons back in the White House. So. But yeah, nuttiness in American politics is not, 1968. We had Nixon, and we had George Wallace, and of course Hubert Humphrey was ineffectual, and of course that was the 60s, and Lyndon Johnson was tired of being labeled a war criminal, and he just said, no, I can't do it anymore. Even though Lyndon Johnson was probably the greatest American president. Great society, voting rights. He was a great president. Vietnam brought him down. He inherited that from Kennedy. Kennedy, I think, is a fraud, and Kennedy I have no use for. JFK is way too much.
Except for the space race, right?
Yeah, the space race is true. Clee's right. But he definitely decided to put a man on the moon, and you're right. I'll give him credit for that. But yeah, he got the U.S. involved in Vietnam, and whether, if he had survived or not, I don't know. I think Kennedy was one of the great warmongers of Americans.
1 minute.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of Kennedy. Johnson was befelled by the Vietnam War. He should have gotten out. He got caught up in it. It killed him. He died. He left, and then he died in '72. But Johnson was a great president. The '68 election, though, makes this Trump thing. Yeah, go back and look at it. So American politics is nutty, and it's mean. And Dukakis should have won in 1988. but you know, the Republicans went nuts on him, and the Willie Horton thing. You know, he left some guy went out of prison, someone else. They labeled Dukakis soft on crime, and then of course he went in a tank he looked like an idiot in a tank, and the rest is history. So American politics is nutty. So this Trump thing is overrated, and but it does. The bottom line is it does speak to an anti-intellectualism in American society, and that's the real problem. Americans, they're just a very insular place, and I understand that. 350 million people, huge internal economy. They don't travel. They don't read a lot. They don't see the rest of the world, and they don't really care. And that's the real problem. And
that's true too.
Yeah, so Trump is playing to an anti-intellectual society, and as the Republican field, and that is the real problem. You know, the most powerful country in the world is probably the most stupid country in the world, and that's the real problem. That's the real problem. Yes, I get it. This is a country that brought us the internet and put a man or a person on the moon, and pretty stupid.
Where'd you get that shirt from?
I don't know. Maybe I got it from you. All right, we're done. We're done here. Everyone gets my point.
Yeah.
Don't get scared of Donald Trump. It's
the anti-intellectualism thing. That's very important.
The anti-intellect. He's anti-intellectual.
That's
the Republican field is anti-intellectual. Hillary's going to get the nomination. She's going to win. And but there's still this huge anti-intellectual stream in American society.
Yes.
And why Americans who run the world aren't more knowledgeable about the world? That's the question.
Well, I think we're a little bit confused about what intellectualism is, right?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. It's not just talking nice and like.
Yeah, and like I said, a good chunk of American society believes in creationism. They believe in the Bible. They deny climate change, even though they're totally affected by it. You know, look at Miami, look at New York. These cities will be, in 100 years, these cities will probably be underwater. So,
yeah.
Anyways, okay, let's end this.
Okay.